Hi everyone, welcome to Zen Studios. Today we're going to be showcasing a new upgrade from our friends at Mike Lane Mods. Alright, our friends over at Mike Lane Mods have launched 8 combo upgrades that are power mods and remote controls. Today we're going to be showcasing the remote control and power mod for the Ghostbusters Ecto 1. I have purchased these for myself, so they're not a paid promotion or anything. This is an upgrade that I have really been waiting for. It's one of those things that, you take all this time and you build these part work models, and then you end up with not being able to turn them on because you have to go into them inside the car to get the switches and everything. And it makes it really hard to enjoy them when they're finished. Most of our part work models now, remote control capability is standard. But in the case of things like the Ecto 1, the DeLorean, the Eleanor Mustang, those kinds of things don't have that capability in them, so we have to upgrade them. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that now. First thing we should do is show you what's in the box. Alrighty, I've put a link down here to Mike Lane's website, and I'll put a link in the video description to this mod so you can go ahead and get this for yourself if you are building the Ecto 1. There's a lot of debate on whether you mod and upgrade or not, or if you go with just the basic build. It's absolutely your choice whether you do that or not. These models are really great on their own. But I think having the remote control capability is an absolutely essential mod. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at that moving forward. Alright, and here's what you get in the box. We'll go ahead and we'll open that up. We have a USB-C braided cable. We have connection cables, so we can wire this up. We have the remote control. And we have our circuit board in this bag here. And a 3M sticky pad. Doesn't look like a lot, but trust me, when this upgrade is done, the car is going to be 1,000 times better than it was when we started. Now the first thing we need to do is we need to prep the Ecto 1 for the... Alrighty, my Ecto 1 is completed up through issue 30, so I have not joined the body to the frame yet, to the chassis yet. If you are in a situation where you have completed this car, or you have joined the body to the frame, the chassis and the interior, you're going to need to take it off. So what you need to do in order to do that is you need to work backwards from in issue 32. I think it's stage 122 that the body actually gets affixed to this chassis. But for mine, I haven't done that yet, so I don't have to do that. What we do have to do is we do have to get this floor pan and cargo area with the interior off of the chassis. To do that, we're going to need to turn it over, and we're going to need to unscrew a bunch of different screws. So I'll go ahead and get that done and lift the interior off. If you refer to this diagram, which this is stage 65, these are all of the screws that you're going to need to remove in order to get that interior floor pan off of them. They're all JP screws going all the way around. I think I'm going to move this over to the side, move the camera over to the side to give you a... I'll roll out now. I'm actually going to loosen the battery box just a little bit. I'll explain why I'm doing that a little later. Not fully, just so it'll move. And now what we're going to do is we're going to flip the vehicle over back on it. Alright, so the vehicle is back right side up. Incidentally, you are going to probably want to disconnect all of your extension leads. All of mine are that I have left are the roof ones, so I'll put those back in later. So you should have empty plugs. Let's see if I can get it into view. Empty plugs on the front and on the back. We're also going to take off this wire tidy bracket. So we can get this off. Put that to one side. And now we should be able to lift this chassis plate off. So we'll go ahead and we'll work. Alright, so now we can lift the interior floor. So I have all of these switches that are coming from the dashboard here. And I do have these cables on the side, which are not part of the build, just so you know. And I'll explain what's going on with those at a later time. Alright. Prior to do that, I do have a third-party car already that I'm going to go ahead and take out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Get this off of the workstation because we're not going to need it for a second. Alrighty, the old power mod's out. Here's all those cables. We don't need those anymore. And here is the stock Eagle Moss Fanhome wiring loom. I say Eagle Moss because I started this model with Eagle Moss and I'm finishing it with Fanhome. The long cables go toward the front and the short cables go toward the side. But for now, we're going to get this off because the first thing we need to do is we need to bind the remote. Alrighty. You can find all of the instructions for these power mods on Mike Lane's website. If you scan this QR code, it'll take you to the one for this Ghostbusters Ecto one. These operate on, as you can see, a USB-C connection. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a USB-C adapter, and it needs to be a minimum of 10 watts. 10 watts will give you all the power you need to run anything you want on this vehicle. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this out of the box, get it plugged in, and we're going to go ahead and work on binding the remote. So we have our USB-C cable right here. We're going to get the control board out of the box, or the bag. With electronic components, I like to make sure that I touch them from the sides as much as possible, not the top where the connections are. I can get it out of the bag. Oh Lord. Right, there we are. So this little piece, which is about 1.5 inches by a little over an inch, is what's going to bring all the magic to life here. So we'll go ahead and we'll do this, and then we're going to plug one end into the board and the other end into a power source, and as you can see, a blue light comes on, and after 10 seconds it should go out, just like that. There we go. And here's the remote control. It has on, off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and an aux button. And it also has a mounting plate if you want to mount it to the wall, which I think is really, really cool. To start with, it does have a battery in here. So we're going to take this piece of plastic out. Put that back in. And then if we press this programming button, the blue LED is flashing, letting you know that it's ready to receive instructions from the remote. So we're going to press the numbers in sequence. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, aux, on, and then off. And it quick flashed about 3 times, letting you know that it is set up. If you make a mistake, you can just press this programming button again, repeat the process, and off you go. Alright, and according to the instructions, the remote control on turns all lights on, off turns all of them off. Number 1 is the headlights and tail lights and interior lights. 2 is the roof lights. 3 is the siren. 4 plays the engine sound. 5 sounds the horn. 6 is the brake lights. And number 7 cycles through some pre-programmed stuff, which is really cool. We'll try and get into that later. And the auxiliary will handle your code 3 lights, which are the big blue ones on the top that spin around and around. So you'll be able to control those with this remote control, which is really, really cool. Alrighty, so I brought the car back now, and we have this wiring loom at the front. Mike provides these splitter cables right here, like this. So we're going to take one end, we're going to find the cable that's marked B, which is, I just had it. Cable B, there it is. That's this white cable here. And we're going to connect one end of this Y splitter to cable B. And then this end eventually will go back up to the dashboard. So this is actually a 3-in-1. It's a power mod, it's a remote control mod, but you can also use the switches inside the car if you want to, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to repeat this for C, D, E, F, and G. Alright, and here are all those done. What I've done, we can move this over, is I have separated all of these cables, which are going to go out by the wheel well, because they're going to have to go to connections either in the bumper or door switches, and all of these are over to this side, which are all the dashboard switches. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some, where did I put them? There they are. These long extensions, and where we put the short ones in here, we're going to put the long ones onto this side. So these are going to be what run to the wireless board. So I'll go ahead and get that done, show you how that. And as you can see, that's all done. What we need to do now is we need to bring over Mike's board. And because I'm paranoid, I'm going to put it on a towel. Because metal on metal with electronics is never good. So we're going to take the long end of these and we're going to connect these up to the board. So on Mike Lane's board, if you can see, it's all numbered. So here's power, aux, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So port number 1 is going to get the cable from F. If I can find that one. So F goes into number 1. Alright, so F is this one. It's a gray cable. So we're going to put that into port number 1, making sure the pins are in the right way. Push that all the way down. So F is 1. I'm going to find C. Because I like to go in order on things. E, C. Alright, so C is this blue one. Take that. And C is going into number 2. B is number 3, which B is, there we go, this white cable. So B goes into number 3. See if I can move this over just a little bit, so you can better see what I'm doing. B. Number 4 is going to be cable D. I just saw that one. It's right here. D is blue and green. So D we're going to put into number 4. And number 5 is going to be cable E, which is this green one, marked E. Put that one in, just like that. E. And number 6 is going to be G. Just like that. And cable V. Okay, we'll get back to the V cable in a minute. But what we need to do now is we need to run all of these cables and tape them down to the floor. And I'm going to actually do this twice. So I'm going to do all of these cables that are coming from the stock circuit board to the front. I'm going to tape them down, and then I'm going to run all of the other ones that are going to the remote control board to the back. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I have all this taped and tidied like this for now. When it goes to putting the interior floor in, if I have to change it, I will. But that's what I've done for the moment. Now we need to take one more Y splitter cable. This one right here. And we need to find cable V, which comes out the side. There it is. V right there. And put that in like that. But before we do that, we need to grab cable A from the circuit board, which is this one, which is the power. Connect this cable. All these black and gray cables are supplied by the mod. And then we're going to put this into the power socket on the remote control board. Like that. Okay, so with the V cable, what's happening is this is going to be the new connection to the door switch. So this one and this side needs to go to number 7 on the remote control board, like so. Alright, I made the executive decision that I'm going to show you the wire tidy at the very end. But now we need cable N, This is going to power your code 3 lights at the top. So this is cable N, and we're going to be attaching that to the aux port in the remote control board, like so. And then this is going to go out the back side of the vehicle with this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this circuit board probably around about here. And then we'll tidy all the wires up and see where we're at. Alright, to mount the circuit board, we have a foam pad in this bag here. You take the adhesive off one side, the backing off one side. Put that on the back of the circuit board. Remove the backing from the other side. Maybe. There we go. I'm going to put this kind of in this position right here. And then what we need to do is we have this USB-C ribbon cable. Just like this. We're going to put that in just like that. I'm going to grab my braided cable, which is here. And put the USB-C lead in there. Okay, so I'm going to try and explain what I've done. So all of these cables coming from the circuit board are going out the wheel well side like they were before. All of the dashboard ones are going up this way and coming out the top, and I'll tidy them up a little bit later. This is the power ribbon cable that goes to the USB-C, which I trailed back this way. See if I can get it on camera. Trailed it back this way and dropped it down through the battery box, and it is now coming out the back of the car. So what I'm going to do before I put the interior floor back in is I'm going to test the remote control. Power it up. Alright, we're back on the side camera now. I've checked and everything appears to be working as it's supposed to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the interior floor. Not the easiest thing to do, but we'll manage it. sure our wires are all coming out the side like they're supposed to. Make sure I don't trap the ones from my mod. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and I'll connect all these switches up. Alrighty, it's a brand new day. Full disclosure, this ran into Friday, but I can show you. The interior floor is not put in yet. I have some troubleshooting to do before I do that, but I can show you this working. So this is the standard Fanhome circuit board, and this is Mike's remote control board. If I press 1 on the remote, headlights are on, tail lights are on. This one's not working, so I need to troubleshoot how to get that working. And the dashboard lights are on. If I press 2, the roof lights come on. 3, has the siren. 4, the engine noise. 5 is the horn. And then number 7 is the leaving the firehouse. And if I press it again, you get the possessed mode. Super cool. And then the aux button will turn on. Make sure I have them turned on. There they are. So you can control the code 3 siren lights with the remote. Now just showing you what's possible with this Mike Lane mod. Mike Lane does offer a bumper strobe mod that will work with this remote control. I actually started a long time ago doing my own bumper strobe mod along with the roof lights. So what I have is I have a nano chip wired up. These are going to be my roof lights with a breathing propeller array, and I do have the bumper strobes. So that's these cables here. So you won't have these cables because these are a mod that I've done. But I'll show you how that looks. plug it into one of these code 3 roof light circuits. So there's my roof lights. And my bumper strobes are working. And the nano chip is working just fine. The only thing is, since I did this mod on my own, I can't use this auxiliary button to get it to go on and off. So as you can see, it stays on. But the other ones work with the remote. So what I'm going to have to do, since I'm not using Mike Lane strobe mods on this, is I'm going to have this work with the switch on the roof of the car. So see, if I turn it off, like I would one of those code 3 lights, the lights go out and back on. Looks pretty cool. I'm happy that I got with this. Which is a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and we'll light everything up with the all on. So all the roof lights, tail lights, headlights, strobes working just fine. The only other thing I do have, other than figuring out why that tail light doesn't work, is I have a slight misalignment on my right rear door. So getting it to actually switch to turn off the interior light is going to be a challenge. But other than that, everything works perfectly. This is an awesome mod.